Hey, Hare Krishna, good morning everybody. We are on the very first Streamlabs session. Some of you encouraged me to launch live streams on Streamlabs. I guess that was because of Mr. Ice. I don't know. Let's see what happens, and looking forward to some cool interactions. I have no idea how it works, so if you got any tips or things you would like to say about how to do streams here, I'll really much appreciate it. Yeah, I'll really much appreciate that. Thank you so much. So how it works really, let's see. I launched it now on the Streamlab platform, but does it appear on YouTube? I'm not sure. Yeah, it does. That's crazy. Anyways, so I cannot see what's going on YouTube, only on my laptop, but that's all right. Oh, we got 2 people live. Hey, awesome. How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Living Monk live stream channel. We're gonna chant and stay high forever. This is a morning meditation program. Basically what we do here, we chant, we never stop, and the effect is very sublime and easy. Everyone can do that, everyone can comprehend that. Everyone likes music, right? Hey, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Vishnu Kumar, Vishnu Day. Nice to see you guys. So repeat after me. Hare Krishna. Hey, Hare Krishna, I can't hear you. Say Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Is there a voice to, does voice to tap or something like that? I have no idea. Anyways, chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But anyone knows how to do the loud voice that it reads your comments? I have no idea how to do it. Anyways, let's try it out. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is the meditation. It's very easy. You chant, you focus on the vibration, just like now you hear and you focus on me chanting. You focus on my words. So similarly, if you focus on these words, because they're not ordinary words, they penetrate straight to the soul and they take the soul to the spiritual world. And this awesome. And this this simple chanting, it's coming directly from the spiritual world, and everyone can actually experience what the spiritual world is all about. It's about bliss, knowledge, and pleasure. So simply, if you focus on this vibration, you're gonna feel ecstatic, and it's all thanks to my spiritual master, our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. If anyone wondered who is that person above my head, the person is actually one person. Is His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who brought this vibration in 65. Actually, it exploded in 1966 in New York, Manhattan, Lower East Side, and thanks to him, innumerable millions of thousands of people benefit from this mantra. So as you know, this mantra is actually, it's a free mantra. We don't charge for the mantra. You chant and the effect is free too. But if you like, you can contribute. You can go to the live stream. I just set up this stream on Streamlabs, so you can log on Streamlabs. It's very easy and quick to donate there using PayPal or whatever. Even Bitcoin you can use. Okay, so what I was about to say. Yeah, okay, so usually, first of all, before we chant, actually, we offer prayers to the spiritual master. Just like in any platform that you want to acquire knowledge, you have to approach someone from that knowledge, starting from your parents. If I ask you, How do you know about your date of birth, or who is your father, who is your mother, right? Your mother told you this is your father, you know, and your mother or father, they told you, oh, you were born on November, let's say I was born November 12th. So this all information is due to some spiritual master, some master, I mean to say. So when we come to spiritual knowledge, you know, I'm just going to adjust the camera. When we come to spiritual knowledge, it's even more important to understand that you need to approach a source of information. You know, you can search for millions of years, but you might find, might not find. Just like your birthday, you might celebrate every day as your birthday, right? But you know, until you celebrate all the days, what's gonna happen to you? You're gonna die, right? There are 360 4 days usually, so no one lives, even nowadays, not even for 70, 80 years. So we must approach someone who knows about our birthday, and the best source is the mother. Similarly, to understand about our spiritual nature, we must approach a spiritual master, and not just a spiritual master, but a bona fide spiritual master. How do we know who is a bona fide spiritual master? He speaks, he does, he chants nothing but Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He gives you something spiritual. You know, this is the bottom line. Spiritual master doesn't give you anything material. He gives you spiritual. So our spiritual master is Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, giving us this transcendental sound vibration. You chant and you stay high forever. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishisha Shunyavadi Vasatyadi Satarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Everybody, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this is the chanting. I think most of you are here from India at the moment, so probably all of you heard about it. Let me know, where are you watching the video from? Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, like that. I'm just gonna update the video description because it seems that it's not here. Where's the live streams again? And yeah, check out the Streamlab and tell me if I'm doing it right, because it's my first time here and I'm not sure. Oh, here it is. It is here. I'm not sure that it's all correct. Perhaps, I don't know. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so we got 13 viewers. Please invite your friends. We want to have 108 at least today. Some questions. Okay, what monks do with their sexuality? Well, they what is called they invest the same sexual energy in some higher goal, you know. That is what is called actually the linking up, you know, the propensity to have sex. Where is it coming from? It's coming from the desire to enjoy or to give others enjoyment. So we say enjoy with Krishna, give enjoyment to Krishna, and then that same propensity for enjoyment is actually benefiting you. You know, when someone enjoys sex on a gross plane, on a gross level with a gross body, he loses not just his time, because you have to earn so much money to enjoy sex, but he basically enjoys his prana, his energy. So what I usually do during this time, I just read something ecstatic from Srila Prabhupada, one of the classes, and you can ask questions like that. And yeah, feel free to comment, share the link. Okay, there's some more questions. To tell lies. To tell lies, well, you know, it's a relative question, but sometimes it's inevitable, you know, like if someone tells you, you know, are you Hare Krishna or I'm gonna kill you, you know. So the life and the how the body is used is much more important than, you know, these things, you know. So if someone tells you, you know, I'm gonna kill you if you are Hare Krishna, are you Hare Krishna, you know, you're not gonna say Hare Krishna, I'm a Hare Krishna. This is foolishness, you know. You're gonna, you know, like what we call as a white light, right? White light. Yeah, let's continue. So This is a lecture from Boston, I think. It's the same lecture we actually read the other day. Was it yesterday? No. Was it? I don't remember even. Was it yesterday? I think so. But this is a question and answer section where Prabhupada, he actually explains, the understandings or misunderstandings. Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Big. Excellent, ecstatic. And this is something very special because, if you think about these great personalities that came to this world, the material world, to benefit others on behalf of God, behalf of Krishna, be that Lord Jesus Christ, the Prophet Muhammad, or Moses, or so many other enlightened personalities, right? In India, there's so many what we call as gurus, spiritual masters, that they come on behalf of God to explain to people about God, So there are many of them, but there is a problem that there is no actually information about their direct explanation, direct speech. Like you say, you take a great person like Jesus, for example, in the West, but how much of him we know of what he spoke actually directly, right? The other people who quote him or write comments about him, like the Bible, right? The Bible was actually never written by Jesus Christ. The Bible was never read by Jesus Christ, right? Jesus was never reading the Bible. Like many people outside, if you're gonna join me the live streams outside that I do, they come and they approach me and they ask me, have you read the Bible? Have you read the Quran? Have you read this and that and so many other scriptures? But their own leaders of their religion, of their spiritual path or pursuit, never read these scriptures. And why? Because these scriptures were written by conditioned souls. The Bible was written by apostles, right? And so on and so on. So we have something extraordinary. We have the direct speech recorded. You can hear it transcribed. You can verify it from a pure devotee of God, of Krishna, a pure Shakti. We call it a Shaktivesh avatar. Avatar, if any one of you knows what is an avatar, let me know in the comments below. What is an avatar? And it's not the blue creature from Disney. Avatar is someone who descends from the spiritual world to explain spiritual science. He is already perfect. He is already perfect. He doesn't need any teaching or education about God. But he comes and he shows us how to serve God, connect to God, how to do yoga, Not exactly God, but it's not just God, but his servant too. His servant or his son, he can come to earth. God doesn't have to come all the time, he has better things to do. So, like that, we're going to read about the most recent Shaktivesh avatar. What is the influence of Hinduism on the West, and what more you need to promote work? What do you type within monks and preach to boost your work? Well, there are no Indian monks here, unfortunately, but you can call them. We're gonna chant the whole day. I think someone actually mentioned that in the comments. Maybe that was you? I'm not sure. So yeah, we have direct access to Shaktivesh Avatar Srila Prabhupada. As you can see him here sitting behind me. And we have his direct speech. So we can actually understand directly what is the information descending from God, like that. Okie dokie. Okay, so a question was asked. What was that question? Not sure the question is here. But it's a woman, she asked Prabhupada about the body. What is the conditioning of the body, of the dress, does to the practitioner of this particular, spiritual path or pursuit. So Prabhupada explains, yes, it makes a psychological condition if you're dressed. Just like if you dress yourself as a queen, sometimes you feel, I'm a queen. You see, just like an actor in theatrical stage, or if you sit down on a car, you think that you are much elevated. These are temporary, but they are not very important. If you have no objection to accept this dress, that's nice. But if you have got objection, then we have no objection. Krishna consciousness is different from this dress or that dress. Just like a policeman, police constable, he is dressed in different type than ordinary gentleman, but that doesn't mean simply by dressing he is perfect policeman. Even without dress, he can become a perfect policeman. Yeah, so many people, they actually ask us about the dress. If I join you, do I have to dress like a Hare Krishna, like robes and monks and shave the head and everything? You know, no, you don't have to, but it's good for you, you know, because you're going to feel empowered, just like the policeman. Prabhupada gives this analogy. The policeman, when he goes, I'm in London, I'm right now in London, UK, United Kingdom. So just like the policeman, when he goes outside and he dressed in his particular uniform, he feels empowered. It doesn't mean that without the uniform he's not empowered, or with the uniform he's necessarily, like Prabhupada says, a good policeman, but it's something that keeps him, you know, together, you know. So, okay, then the woman continues. It is motivation. It is just like policeman. He feels Prabhupada. Sure, Prabhupada answers, continues the answer. Yes, just to make others know that he is a policeman, but his business does not depend on the dress. Similarly, this dress may be advertisement to say to others that we belong to Krishna consciousness group. That is another thing. But Krishna consciousness doesn't depend on dress. Ahaitukya pratiyata, without any reason and without any impediment. Krishna consciousness can be executed without material condition. There is no material condition for advancing in Krishna consciousness. So a dress is too, it's conditioning, you know, the robes or a suit or a tie. This is has nothing to do with spiritual advancement. Spiritual advancement does not depend on material circumstance. Like now, seemingly, I'm not in a temple, right? I'm in a room, right? But this is actually an ashram, a spiritual place where spiritual practice goes on. So regardless of where you are, you know, spiritual practice can go on perpetually all the time, and especially outside, when you go outside. So this dress is something to remind the practitioner about him being a part and parcel of Krishna. It can go without it, but it's very helpful. So then a devotee gives a comment. Somebody gave, no, that's something else. Okay. Srila Prabhupada, everything is a problem. Okay, the woman is saying that the material body is a problem. So Prabhupada explains that. Yes, everything is a problem. With this body, everything is a problem, beginning from the birth of this body. Manufacturing of the body by father and mother, it is a problem. Therefore, a serious man will always think how to get out of this problem, setting aside all other problems. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. This is from Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter. Any one of you read the Bhagavad Gita? Let me know down in the comments below. How to get out of this material body? It is not that this small problem, this big problem, the whole body, material body, acceptance of material body is a problem. It's a disease. Woman asks, but you have to accept the problems because you have the body. Srila Prabhupada answers, that's it. To make the best use of a bad bargain. Woman, I would not think so. Bad bargain. If you have bad body, that's bad body. Srila Prabhupada. It is a bad bargain because there are four problems. Even if you are very rich, you have no economic problem. You've got everything, but you have to take birth. You have to die. You have to suffer from disease. You have to accept old age. These problems you cannot avoid. Either you are a rich man or poor man or American or Indian or white or black. It doesn't matter. The four problems of material existence will always trouble you. Nobody wishes to die, but he has to die. Nobody likes disease, but he has to suffer from disease. So this is a very important point. It's like the punchline of the whole class, pretty much, that all our life we're trying to adjust the body. Oh, nice. Nice, very good, Varnesh. Read the whole Bhagavad Gita, but read the one as it is because it gives you the understanding. Yeah, tell him to log in. Tell Ice to come and chant. I think he's not in London anymore, right? He's like in Germany, whatever. But yeah, we're gonna meet in Beverly Hills, I'm sure. So this is the punchline of the class, that we all our life we're trying to adjust the comfort zone of the body. We're trying to make it clean, right? That's why actually we keep the head shaven, the monks, you know, because it's easy to clean, easy to take a shower constantly. Keep the clothes clean. I personally, I wash the clothes daily. I put daily new underwear and overwear. Everything is new. You know, we go to education. We go to college, university. So in the future, we have a nice salary and we able to secure some facility to be comfortable, you see. But this is actually this is a dead end. And why is a dead end? Because ultimately you're gonna meet the dead end. You're gonna die, you know, you're gonna die, and throughout your life you're gonna get old, you're gonna get diseased, and then you're gonna be born again. Like Prabhupada explains here, birth, old age, disease, and death. These are the four principles that no matter where you are in the material world, heaven or hell, even heaven, right? Like so many religions inspire to take you to heaven, but you're gonna die there too. You know, no getting out of that. So the real solution to these problems, Prabhupada is gonna explain further on. Continuation. So these are the problems. If you don't think, they are not problems. Then you are less intelligent. You have to become more intelligent. The animals, they do not care for death. Now here's a slaughterhouse. Another animal is being killed, and this animal, little grass. Oh, he is happy. How does it not know next moment I'm going to be killed? This is ignorance. Ignorance means animal life, and knowledge means human life. Therefore, there is so much educational system in every human society. Why? Knowledge means human life, and ignorance means animal life. So why should we be ignorant of these four principles? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha, Dushani, Nuvartana. The problems of birth and death, old age and disease. And this is another quote from Bhagavad Gita. Humility, pridelessness, no violence, slaughter, and simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, and self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the protection of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease, non-attachment to children, wife, home, and the rest, and ever-mindedness and mind pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, resort into solitary places, detachment. It's a list of things that constitute a spiritual person. So Prabhupada says after, why you set aside these problems and think you are happy? This pertains to the birth, old age, disease, and death. Some positive energy. Yeah, we're gonna chant in a second. Oh yeah, sorry, I was just quoting the section. So it's a quote from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, text 9. You can read it. It's not very hard. So yeah, this is the point. Why do we set aside these problems, birth, old age, disease, and death, and we think that we still gonna be happy? You know, this is animal life, ignorance. You know, the Prabhupada gives the example of an animal which is about to be slaughtered, a goat or a cow or whatever. He still, although he knows, he sees that his brothers, his friends, they already been killed. Sometimes he hears them screaming and he feels frightened a little bit, but he continues to eat the grass. Or I've seen even, you know, the goats, they would slaughter them, but just before the goats will be slaughtered, they would enjoy intercourse. You know, how ridiculous is that? You know, so this is there's a continuation. One person, a man, asks Prabhupada, what is the normal called pleasure, like eating, sleeping, sex? Srila Prabhupada defends, man, what part do they play when a person's reach this higher level of consciousness? Srila Prabhupada, They also eat, they also sleep, they also mate, they also defend, but there is adjustment. See, this is the difference, the adjustment in the propensity. Man, but how could they, it is more pleasurable, or Srila Prabhupada, yes, not more, no, more pleasurable, there is more pleasurable also. An elephant eats hundreds of pounds of vegetables at a time. Is it more pleasurable? What is that? Oh, more pleasurable. Oh, there is no question of pleasure or distress. Pleasure must be there always, but it is the question of curing. Just like when you are under a treatment of an expert physician, he says that you shall eat like this, you shall sleep like this, you shall mate like this, you shall do like this. So it may not be pleasure, but if I want to cure myself, I have to accept the physician's direction. This is another connection to the fact that each and one of us needs to approach, just like we need to approach a physician when we seek a doctor. You know, nowadays, okay, like I myself, when I'm a bit sick, you know, I don't go to a doctor or to the hospital, but I go to Google, to Dr. Google. But still, we have to approach someone. So for spiritual knowledge, similarly, we have to approach a spiritual master. Continuation. It is pleasure because the physician is taking him to the healthy state of life. So as soon as he gets that, sorry, I'm just gonna turn it off. This noise is ridiculous. So as soon as he gets that he is getting healthy, or he is getting out of his diseased condition, that becomes pleasurable. Oh yes, I'm being cured. So apart from that point, it is not question of whatever it is pleasurable or non-pleasurable, but if you want to cure yourself from disease, you have to follow the directions. That is the process. Yes. Then the man replies, but I need pleasure, Srila Prabhupada. Therefore it is called tapasya. The Sanskrit word tapasya. Tapasya means voluntary accepting of some unpleasurable thing. Voluntarily, that is called tapasya. Man replies, what relationship, psychology, or something of accepting the body or mind and body together, what relationship does that have to do with higher consciousness? What is that? Srila Prabhupada, devotee, he wants to know what relation of the body and the mind have to a higher level of consciousness. Srila Prabhupada, hey, how's it going? Hare Krishna. We're reading a class by Srila Prabhupada. So stay tuned, and we're going to chant a little bit right after. As you can see, the difference of the body and the mind between the animal and human being is there, no difference. Do you think animal body and human consciousness as animal consciousness is the same? So you have to elevate yourself. As you have elevated yourself from animal consciousness, animal body, to this beautiful human body, similarly you have to still more elevate yourself to a higher standard of life. They are called demigods, but the final stage is to get the body, which is called spiritual body, in Krishna consciousness or God consciousness. That is the platform of evolutionary process is going on. As you have come up to so much of the civilized form of life from animal status, similarly you can still make progress. But in the Bhagavad Gita it is recommended that by progress you may go to the topmost planet of this universe. Yeah, so there's the evolution theory, which is actually partially correct, because we are transmigrating from one form to another. The only misunderstanding is that the forms are never extinct. The animal forms are eternally there. There are 8,400,000 species of life. We are transmigrating from one form to another. Hey, yes, heavenly witch, awesome. Yeah, so stay tuned. We're gonna meditate in a second with a mantra meditation, just like we did with ice. So the next step in evolution that must be there, Yeah, right now you are a spirit from the spiritual world. We all are coming from the spiritual world, but we are locked in this material world, you know, where everything is black. Like you can see, there's darkness outside of the universe because it's closed. You know, that's the proof of the enclosement of the universe. The universe is limited because you can see it's dark. If it was unlimited, if it was no boundaries, it will be light all the time. But that's the spiritual world. So the yoga practice takes you there, you see. And the transmigration from one body to another. Darker entities. What would you say is dark? Like what is a negative entity? Because we see everyone as coming from the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, every talk is a song and every walk is a dance. Everyone is actually positive, you know. Now we covered by different coverings, by different entities, by different bodies, forms. We are men, tall, small, ugly, beautiful. Hitler, like we spoke with Mr. Ice about Hitler, you know. So it's a form. Hitler is a form, Mussolini is a form, Obama is a form, Trump is a form, but you know, they have a spirit soul too. So the spirit soul of anyone here is essentially pure, but the nature of this material world is dark, and that's why some people exhibit that more or less like that. Yeah, we are unfriendly because of the body, because someone doesn't fit to our perspective of views, which is according to the body, but ultimately we all are pure. So the what did I want to say? Oh yeah, they all kind of, they are the nagas, the snake-like people or forms, you know. Their description of 30 million different planets in the Vedic scriptures. So some portion is on a lower scale, on the dark scale, some in between, like we are in between the earthly planets, and some are higher, like we just read about as the demigods, or the gods, you know. They are like the higher living entities. So the evolution system made like this, that the soul goes from the darker region to the earthly to the higher, right? So, you know, many times I speak with biologists and people like that, and they explain to me the theory of evolution as if I don't know about it. But, you know, I ask them back, so what is the next stage in evolution? Where does the soul goes after? You know, what is the next stage in advancement? You know, okay, we're here. Just like now, every one of us wants to progress in life. Some of us take to education or work or whatever, but we want to advance, we want to progress. So what is the next stage in the progression of the whole humankind, the evolutionary cycle? You know, so Prabhupada explains about this here, that you can go, you can become a demigod, you can become a form of a god, you know, elevated entity in the material world, but that's not everything. The highest evolution actually is to go back home, back to Godhead, to go back to the spiritual world, not to be material at all. Okay, here Prabhupada speaks about it. But if you come to the spiritual world and the plan is there, there is no more death, no more birth, no more old age, no more disease. Life eternal, full of knowledge and bliss, blissful life. That should be attained. That should be endeavored in this human form of life, setting aside all others. That should be the business of human life. Then there's an interesting question. How do you explain suicide? We actually spoke about it with the ICE, some of you who are ICE followers. Lotarin and Heavenly Witch, and who else is here? Who is... Everyone who is ICE follower, say Hare Krishna. Say Hare Krishna now. I'm gonna make a special something, I don't know, whatever. So okay, so Prabhupada is gonna answer now. How do you explain suicide, Prabhupada? Suicide is killing of the body. What is the explanation? Untimely. Suicide means that you were given somebody to suffer or enjoy for a certain time according to your last fruitive activities. Now if you commit suicide, that is just like a prisoner is condemned to live in the prison house for 6 months. But some way or other, if he gets out of the prison, when he is again caught, then he is punished to remain there for 1 year more. Suicide is like that. You having a particular type of body that is given to you for enjoyment or suffering according to your last work. If you finish it untimely, then you have to accept such body again, and the duration will extend. Yeah, so suicide actually is Catholic. I'm Catholic. Don't dislike or believe, but yeah, we don't converse on like a platform of belief really, but Vedic culture means knowledge. It means knowledge about God, the soul, and the relationship, this universe, the material, the spiritual. So whoever has information about it, yeah, we're ready to question and verify it, and and accept it ultimately. So now the question is about this aspect of suicide. What is actually suicide? Because the soul is eternal, right? Spiritual means no beginning, no end, has no expiration period. So how can you really kill the soul? You cannot kill the soul. It's stated in the Bhagavad Gita, the ABCD of Vedic knowledge, the principles of yoga, that the soul cannot be cut, cannot be burned, and etc. So what happens when we commit suicide actually? The soul right now is in a form of a prison. We're spiritual, right? So what the hell are we doing in the material world? We are in a probation period here, just like someone who is not behaving well. He's sent to the sent to the prison because he was acting badly, he was breaking the law. So similarly, we broke the spiritual laws, or we cannot really break the spiritual laws, but we try to break the spiritual laws. And Krishna, God, he directed us here where everyone wants to break the spiritual laws, and this is called the material world, where there are no spiritual laws. The spiritual laws are still there because it's inside the spiritual world, just like the prison house is still inside the state, and the laws of the state are applicable in the prison, right? The prisoners still, they have all kind of rights, but at the same time, it's a limited amount of rights is given to them, basically none. Their free will is very, very minute and small. So what happens when someone here tries to finish his duration of life in the body? His duration is extended. So Prabhupada gives here this example that, let's say you are supposed to sit in a prison for half a year, and if you try to escape, that's what we're trying to do by suicide. You either you enjoy too much or you suffer too much, and you decide, oh, okay, I enjoy the suffer, and I'm sick of it. I cannot stand the enjoyment, because many people, rich people, they commit suicide. Or I suffer too much and I want to give up the body, give up the existence, but you can't. You're eternal. You was never time you existed or didn't exist, so you will continue to exist. But when you kill the body, when you finish the body, you have to take another body, the same body most of the times, and you have to prolong your probation period in the body. Hey, Hare Krishna, Ramesh Kumar Prabhu. I think we're friends on Facebook too. So, this is not a very smart idea. When someone commits suicide, his soul, first of all, in the subtle body, remains without a gross body for a long and extensive period of time, until he gets another gross body again. And this is a very, very peculiar and stressful situation. You know, imagine if you hungry, let's say, but you don't have a mouth to eat, you know, or you don't have tongue to taste your food, or you don't have stomach to digest your food. You're gonna suffer. You're gonna suffer like hell. So that's what happens to the soul. You know, the soul is left in a subtle body without a gross body, and it cannot exhibit this propensity. It's Ramachandra Das. You can find me on Facebook. The soul cannot enjoy. You know, he wants to enjoy materially, but without a material body, there is no enjoyment. Suffering, Prabhupada says, suffering cannot end. That in the end, just like the same example, if you get out of the prison some way or another, it doesn't stop your suffering. As soon as you are arrested, you again put in. The laws of nature is not so insignificant that simply by suiciding you will stop suffering. No, you have to accept the body again and have to suffer. The man asks, excuse me, but how do we know that we're going to have a body in the next life? Okay, that's a nice question, right? Because, I mean, nowadays everyone thinks, well, after the body is finished, everything is finished. So he asks that, you know, but how do we know we're going to get body at all? So Prabhupada is going to answer that. There are books, knowledge books, books of knowledge. Therefore, I'm speaking of Vedic knowledge. Man, books can be wrong also. Prabhupada, no, why? Then you are wrong also. You are learning from books. What is your education? You are learning from books. Man, no, but we are reading these things from Bhagavad Gita as it is. Prabhupada, no. What is your education? What is your process of knowledge? Man, well, the process of knowledge, you are reading something in the form of authority. Prabhupada, that's their way. So similarly, you would take the books of authority, Vedic knowledge. You have got all knowledge. Man, no, but lots of time books you read one thing, and lots of times as soon as you have taken to it, you don't understand it. A few days more, something wrong from what you want to know. Prabhupada, what is wrong? Suppose you read a book, one of a kind, sure, Prabhupada. No, you have to select an authoritative book, not a kind of a book. Just like law books. Oh, there is no one kind of a law book. Law book means that is given by the state. That is one law book. Only one. That cannot be two. It is not that you take law books from other state or other authority. No, law books means it is the books, it is the law which is given by the state. Similarly, our process is to accept Vedas, not other kind of books. There is no question of other kind of books, only Vedas, just like we are speaking of the Bhagavad Gita. So that is one, no other kinds of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is one. Man, but one may also be wrong. Why, Srila Prabhupada? Why? Man, why not? You take philosophy wrong. You won't take from another scripture, Srila Prabhupada. Okay, I'm going to answer the question in a bit. I'm just going to finish this reading. No, if you take in that way, then it is not book of authority. If it's wrong, then it's not book of authority. The Vedic literatures are accepted, fundamentally accepted, accepting that they are not wrong, they are not cheating, they are fact. Without this understanding, there's no question of accepting book. Amen. But who makes the background? Srila Prabhupada. Oh no, there's some other stuff. If I change the father's name, you cannot change the father's name. Why not? Who knows me? Okay, so just to give you the context, the man, he challenges about the idea of reincarnations, you know. What is the proof of reincarnation? So there are many different proofs, and we answer in different ways according to time, place, and circumstance. In this particular instance, Srila Prabhupada, he explains that the proof is the book, you know, the book of authority. Just like In law, you have a particular book to promote a certain law, a certain prosecution, how things should be done. So similarly, on the spiritual platform too, there are different books of knowledge. So when it comes to books of knowledge about reincarnation, Bhagavad Gita, the most authoritative book about spirituality, yoga, meditation, states clearly that after you give up this particular body, just like you had a body of a little boy and the body is gone, but you're not gone, you're going to continue. Okay, Armesh is asking, Prabhu, how to break the cycle of suffering of disease in this life? I'm continuously suffering from disease from my childhood, but I'm able to break the cycle of disease. The only way how to get out of the cycle of suffering, birth, it's not just disease, but the whole body, the birth, old age, disease, and old age of the body, is to acquire a different type of body, a spiritual body. We are engrossed in the material body, so we cannot go outside of the nature of the material body. You get rid of one disease, you're going to get another disease sooner or later. It doesn't matter. But if you get a spiritual body, then all your material disease are gone, are finished. So Prabhupada is going to explain here the purpose of approaching a particular book of law about spiritual dealings. You cannot change your father's name. Okay, where is that? You cannot prove, the man replies back, you cannot prove everything by one authorized man. Another authorized man, he can change the words. Anyone can. Okay, now the man argues about if the Bhagavad Gita changed or not. Prabhupada says, no, if he is perfect, then he will not change, because he knows the thing. Yes, it is this, but if he is imperfect rascal, then he will change. Amen. How do you know that the person who wrote it was perfect or not? Sure, Prabhupada. That you have to know from the perfect man. That is the way. And who is the perfect man? That is, you have to find out if you have got that capacity. Yeah, so, this is very important. Many times people challenge, well, how do you know this is perfect? So this is actually on each one of us responsibility to tackle his mind, his consciousness, and try to figure out what is perfect, what is not perfect, distinguish. Distinguish is the function of the intelligence. No one can be intelligent instead of you. You have to take responsibility over your intelligence and critically think, ascertain, rationalize. So Prabhupada gives the example, how do you find a lawyer? You have to see that this man is a lawyer, and many men are going there to take law advice, and he is gaining case. He is working. In that way, you have to work. A man replies, well, sir, you're one of the authorities in the same subject, but Prabhupada, no, authority is not that way. In the Bhagavad Gita it is said that authorities are accepted in a disciplic succession, and just like Bhagavad Gita, it is accepted, there are authorities, like in our India, there are authorities like Shankaracharya, authorities like Ramanujacharya, authorities like Madhavacharya, authorities like Vishnu Swami, authorities like Lord Chaitanya. They have all accepted that Krishna is the supreme authority. So you have to accept that Mahajana Jena Gata Sampanta. Yeah, so we base actually our discretion, our intelligence mostly takes to the common understanding, because most of the people, they're not too much able to rationalize their point of view. So I will just take to some prominent idea and they will not think about it too much. So this is not bad necessarily if you stick to a right person, So in India, there's a great example of many spiritual masters from all kind of points of views and understandings and lines, and there's so many religions in India. Why I say religions, because ultimately religion is one, and the word religion is even not in the Vedic culture. It's called dharma. It's another topic, But all these different paths and religions, they accept Krishna as God, they accept reincarnations, they accept birth, old age, all these different things we speak about, they accept it, you know. So, you know, this is oh, I'm great, thanks for asking, Pragosh there. They all accept these fundamental principles of spiritual life. So there is no need to tackle them, at least in this primarily stage of trying to understand what is the Vedic knowledge. There is a proof, there is a philosophical proof, there is a experimental proof, so many other proofs, but just for the beginning, you know, we can take it theoretically, because many great personalities already did, so why not? Okay, you have to follow the principles, footprints of higher authorities. So if you say that I don't accept anyone's authority, then your authority is self-sufficient, and whatever you like you can do. Sure, Prabhupada, yes, that's going on, that is going on. Woman, and the basis, if we don't start the basic change of our words, what other things do? But life, what it says, be good, it says in the Bible, it says in Quran, everything, be good. If you take the word, that is enough, without any book. Then another woman, she asks, is astrology of any importance to the way of life? Prabhupada, yes, this is a science. Yes, this is a science. It is a science. That science is acceptable by the human society, medical science, legal science, engineering science. Similarly, astrology, also another science, but astrology is simply useful so long you have got this body. Sorry. But as soon as your body is finished, there is no more use of astrology. So yeah, astrology is, Prabhupada says, is for karmis, for materialistic people. Devotee, should we chant? Yes, now you can. What is that? Take it out. Chant. Okay, so it continues. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go. We continue tomorrow. Everyone can log in. Gonna continue the session, see how it goes. So thank you so much for watching. We're gonna do a little bit of more chanting now. Stay high forever. Chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhu. Krishna Krishna, can ask. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, wonderful question, Shadru Gopal Prabhu. The perfect guru that we know for sure that he can take us back home, back to Godhead, is, I'm gonna give you a clue. Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, you know, you cannot gamble in spiritual life. If you do one step too much to the left or too much to the right, you're gonna cut yourself, you're gonna, you know, kill your spiritual life. But we know for sure that Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee, and he can be anyone's spiritual master provided he follows his instructions and principles. So in the Krishna consciousness movement, we recommend everyone without any exception to take shelter of his lotus feet. Jai. So how did I come in contact with Krishna? Oh, that'll be answered in another video, because I gotta keep you somehow thrilled, right? So thank you so much for watching. We're gonna continue. I have to do a lot of editing work. There is a bombastic video coming up of me with ice. I'm gonna edit it and render it so you can hear the conversation and what he was asking, and all kind of intelligent questions, some not intelligent, and just the whole interaction was kind of fun. We went to the YouTube zone in London, things like that. So stay tuned, subscribe. You can hit the donation button on Streamlab, PayPal, Patreon. Feel free to contribute and support. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Oh, here's Pragosh Devi asks a question. Preparation from... Yeah, we should not neglect material life. So you should take care of your material problems in order to save time spiritually too. Because let's say you're materially harassed, you know, if you're not pure enough, it's going to hamper your spiritual life, you know. So you have to take care of it, you know. Clear up the exams, the debts, you know, so you're peaceful and you can surrender to Krishna with a smile. So thank you so much for watching. Hare Krishna. I'll see you all out later today, tomorrow. Hari Bol.